Underway now, heading for Hideaway Caye. But I'm just sailing along here, making about 4 knots. Doing pretty good. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm almost a third of the way to my target for today. So really, I got nothing to complain about. That's Crawl Caye dead in front of me. And the ones behind it is actually where Hideaway Caye is. I don't think I can see Hideaway Caye yet, but it's out there. It's out there. But I've got to get around it and go all the way and come in the east side of it. I'm steering about northeast. I'm pointing about east-northeast right now. And I've got to get around Hideaway Caye. You can't enter Hideaway Caye's lagoon from the west or the south. You have to get all the way around it and approach from the east. So that'll take me several hours under sail power. No complaints. So today I've got the staysail on break. And I've got almost a full canvas head sail up. Got a little bit more I could put out, but I'm doing good. The boat's balanced. Agatha's happy. We're making 4+ knots, so I got no complaints at all. You see the sargassum out there. A lot of sargassum, but so just chugging along, baby. Chugging along. So, but right now I'm very, very pleased with the rig. I could stand to tighten up the head sail, the mainsail a little bit. You can see the front leading edge is not quite taut like it should be, but the winds are so light, I figured to hell with it. I didn't want to stop and turn into the wind. That's me, and I'm heading on a course approximately 060, sometimes going to 050. I'm using Agatha to steer, and right now she's coming to starboard, and that means she just follows the relative wind. So once you get her set where the sails are happy, she is going to follow the relative wind, whether it's coming from there or it moves. And the wind does move this time of day. It's going to slowly progress to be coming mostly out of the east. And so I just got Agatha to set up to follow that. The basic plan is to get close to Crawl Caye, maybe go past it and then then tack and go this way and follow the wind and get out to here and then come back and repeat. That's really what I want to do, but by the time I got here, the wind would no longer be on a heading where I could steer this way. So that's kind of the rub. The other option is to go another mile or so and then hang a right and kind of adjust course and go a lot faster and then go into that channel, which I'm a little bit nervous about. I mean, it's plenty deep, but it's narrow. So there's that very small power boat back there, 2 dudes fishing. And I'm just south of Crawl Caye, and I about pooped my pants here a few minutes ago. And I always try to do this, but it hardly. So I'm going this way, planning to pass south of Crawl Caye and head for this channel. That was the plan. But I just chickened out because, I mean, the water is now 60 feet deep, but back here it was 20 feet deep, and I am not making that bullshit up. So I turned around. That was me, and I decided, fuck that. I'm going to go up on the outside, the west side of these islands, and come up like that. But I'm on a starboard tack now. But the wind's coming from about the northeast, and I should mention the wind is very fickle. Like right now, you can see it's borderline becalmed. But it's that time of day when almost 9 a.m., the land breeze is fizzling. The wind is going to come out of the east soon. That's going to be the deal. So that's why I kind of picked a course that I could work with on an easterly breeze, and then going to run up this coast and stay out in the deep water and come up here, and I'll enter Hideaway Caye from the north, which was the original plan. I mean, I was planning to come here and tack and go back out there, so I'm not really deviating from my plan too much. I'm just doing it now with an elevated heart rate, that's all. Fook me. So I'm going to go back and follow my tracks out and then stay in that deeper water. I mean, right now it's showing 60 feet of water. 60 feet, but up there it was 20. Like, fuck. You know, those two guys hooked me up. I mean, this area here on my chart, throughout that area, it shows it to be every bit of, I see nothing less than 8-10 meters out there, and I went aground 2 times in the space of 20 minutes. And I pretty much lost my enthusiasm from trying to get through to Hideaway Caye. I've heard one person said you can safely enter from the south, and some people say go do it from the north, but whatever. Crossing this little patch of water here is, you would need a drone, frankly, flying above, looking down to see where the reefs are. I watched my depth sounder go from 50 feet to 40 to 30 to 25 to 20, and boom, in the blink of an eye, it was, and this is under sail power, so it's not so easy to just stop. And I saw it hit, 5.9, and I go, well, fuck, I'm done. And I got to 4.4, and that's when I heard it hit the bottom. But the water's so clear, I went up topside, took down the sails, and then I started the engine, and I could see that the water at the stern was every bit of 20 feet deep. I couldn't see the bottom, and up by the bow, the front of the keel was about 4 feet, 5 feet, whatever. Well, 6, I guess. We know it's 6 feet, because that's when I hit. So, fook me. Okay, so now I'm just falling off, kind of getting back to where I know I've been, getting out to deeper water. I'm showing 65 feet now, and I'm moving off to the west, and I take Crawl Caye and then Hideaway Caye down my starboard side. And so later I get to Hideaway Caye, and I got to this point. The original plan was to head all the way up here and then do a tack and come down under sail power. But when I was here, I was watching some really big squalls forming to the east, and I knew they were coming my way. So I thought, well, hell, I'm going to end up having a motor anyway, and I didn't want to be up here and then come down here and be right in this area when I got the squall. So I decided here to turn on the engine and drive in against the wind, and that's what I did. And inside a Hideaway Caye, it's like a coral atoll, and there's one way in here, and I'll talk about the other entrances in a minute here, but I followed this path, and it was very deep. I never saw anything less than 45 feet all the way in here, and I went to this area southwest of that island, which seemed like the only reasonable anchorage to me, but it still sucked. The anchor ended up dragging and fell down the slope and kind of reset itself down at 65 feet, so I had a hell of a time getting the anchor up, and you can see all the maneuverings I did with the boat, trying to because I wasn't 100% sure that I was set, and I was terrified that I was dragging backwards into this reef, and I'd lose the boat if I hit that hard. Dustin came out. He came aboard, helped me get the anchor picked up, and then we just drove up to one of the moorings he had, and that was fabulous. And even more fabulous, or that's not a word, was getting to go visit their place. So let's talk about that instead. Hideaway Caye. And Dustin and Kim have the greatest outfit I have ever seen. Talk about envy. Holy moly. I mean, it's physically beautiful. They've done a hell of a great job with their setup there. Just fascinating and impressive. It's impressive is what it is. Rum punch to the right. Where's the rum going? And so the place is run by Dustin and Kim and their daughter, and I'm told that they don't even get mosquitoes here. They're just in disbelief, but apparently they don't get a lot of bugs, even though this is a mangrove island. Pretty cool. What a great place. And there's Tautog out there on the mooring ball. Yeah, so I'm sitting here at the Hideaway Caye. It's you could call it a bar, you can call it a restaurant, whatever. It's also their home. So Kim and Dustin and their daughter are running this place, and they bought the island a number of years ago, I think 20 plus years ago. it really is just a fabulous, beautiful place to be, and I'm very grateful. I'll tell you, and I need it today because I had a hell of a day. Today, I ground once in water that was charted to be 14 meters deep, and I went aground on it. And then I was kind of trapped by a bunch of reefs, and I couldn't find a way out. And so 2 fishermen helped me get clear of that. And once I got clear and out into the deep water, I sailed up here because I had a package to deliver, here at the Hideaway, which I was happy to do. But the real benefit is I have had an opportunity to meet these folks, and really, they've got a pretty cool setup. So I would tell anybody who's come to Belize, if you don't come out to Hideaway Cafe, shame. This is a beautiful spot. It's worth a boat ride out here, even if the boat ride's scary. Entering Sapodilla Lagoon. My apologies, I didn't get the entrance itself. There's the marina over there, but I'm not going there. I'm going to turn right and anchor off to the right over here. Yeah, this is why I do this, I think. Sometimes it sucks, sometimes it's difficult. But sometimes you get to stay at an anchorage like this where you don't worry about anything, and it's just peaceful, and you're the only boat here, and you get a beautiful morning sky. So that's gorgeous. Blowing about 10 to 15 knots. So when it's go time, well, it should be. If I can't sleep, I'm gonna go right now. So we'll see. There's a sailboat off my port bow, and it's crossing my bow. She's pointing this way. She's going to my port side, and so I expect she'll stay on my port bow. And so I think the first thing to say is there is a rule. Ouch! There is a rule that talks about 2 sailboats. For instance, I have my sails on the starboard side. You can see them. My sails are to starboard, which means I've got the wind on my port side, and that guy has to have the wind on his starboard side because I know that the wind direction would otherwise be on his nose. So he's close hauling on a starboard tack. So he's got wind on his starboard side, and that makes him the right-of-way vessel and me the give-way vessel. Okay, now, so based on and that's just what I remember from the book. If both boats had wind on the same side, the one closer upwind has to keep clear of the downwind boat, I think. I'll look that up after this, and I'll show you a copy of the page. But I'm watching that because my self-steering is kind of oscillating me, right and the left. Placencia is over there. I can see it now pretty clearly. So my Agatha steers me here, then she'll steer me here, and so from every now and then you look up and that boat's nearly on my bow. So again, I think there is no risk of collision today, but I'm mindful of the fact that I am the give-way vessel. Okay, that's what I know. So, fun with rules of the road. I appreciate those comments from last time where, it's not right for me to simplify them, but that's kind of how your memory works. I haven't studied the rules of the road properly since in the 1980s, and I was really good at it then, but we had to memorize them for some of our naval qualifications, and you had to get a perfect score on most of the tests if you want to be the officer of the deck or anything like that. So at the time, I knew every paragraph, every comma, every semicolon, and then every nuance. But I really don't have them committed that well in memory any longer. So I do appreciate the comments. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Just a short trip 4 days, 3 nights, I think, out there, and it was event filled, that's for sure. I had one grounding, one near grounding, and one dragging anchor, and then picked up the anchor, which was not easy, and got on the mooring ball. And having said all that, I'm glad that the trip is behind me, but I really enjoyed the trip overall, and I'm glad for the things I learned and the people I met. So really, I mean, I'm not counting this as a negative trip at all. That was pretty cool. Right now it's the 3rd of May, and my visa is good until the 24th here in Belize. So I have to either extend, you know, or I have to leave by the 24th of May. That's about 3 weeks out. So. And the weather is pretty much the same as it was the last time we had this chat. And if you went to our two videos back when I had the discussion about how to get out of here, that all still applies. The winds have been straight out of the east every day. So there's a lot of ways to look at this. And I do lean on some of my friends that almost every day we meet at Yoli's, and I talk to some of the folks. And, I'm thinking, Joe from, his big ferro cement boat, he's been sailing for 35 plus years from South Africa. And he has a way of looking at it. Dave from the UK just left. He went back to Guatemala to wait out the hurricane season there before he continues on. Yeah, and so you get a lot of different inputs from a lot of different folks. And it's not about bravado or anything like that. It's about being sensible and enjoying every day. And I mean, if I focus on the enjoying every day, there's not a lot of argument to really go anywhere at this time. The weather is really nice. Get a nice cool breeze at night. And it's kind of hard to beat this. So, in fact, I've been talking about going to Panama, but if you look at the weather right now, for instance, for the Panama and Costa Rica area, oh my God, they're getting pounded with rain, and they're the heavy thunderstorms, which is going to bring lightning. And I'm like, why would I want to sail directly into some of these ugly squalls when I could just stay here and wait it out a little bit longer, And So I can't promise what I'm going to do, guys. I just don't know. I mean, I'm going to continue to do my best and tell the truth and try to stay healthy and all that stuff, and just try to enjoy life. But that's about all I've got, guys. So I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate your comments, and take care until next time. Bye-bye.